This week on Sportsman TV, we are with not only, but considers himself #1 editor at Louisiana Sportsman, Mr. Andy Crawford.
Thursday and Friday, there was some shrimp in the lake with birds diving. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, none. Most of the fish that we've been cleaning, all their bellies have been empty. You know, this time of the year, they're usually eating shrimp, but the shrimp aren't around. So they're trying to find, I think they're just scrounging for whatever they can find. Little bait fish, pogies, minnows. Some days, I mean, we've been working our butts off to catch, 30, 40, 50 fish. You would think that they'd be eating everything in sight, but they're not.
I told you, that redfish cannot, that bladed jig. Pure poison, Jerry, pure poison. Oh, it's a nice one. It's a nice one. I can just tell you, they'll run stupid over that thing. Put some heat on it, Andy. He's been in that office too long. That's what's sitting behind that computer board to do to you right there.
Yeah, he might be out there a little while. That's a good one.
We'll finish this after commercial.
Oh, it's a big one.
It's the only kind he catches.
Hey, we catch.
This is Ryan Terrio. I'm here at Bowie Outfitters, and listen, I'm an avid bow hunter. If you're looking for a place with the best service in the South and wonderful accessories, not to mention a top-of-the-line bow range, Bowie Outfitters is a place for you. A wonderful staff here and great service at Bowie, but an awesome selection of guns. We have pistols, rifles, and shotguns, and everything else you could imagine. And for all those hard-to-find bass fishing and inshore products, Bowie Outfitters is a place for you. That's Bowie Outfitters for everything outdoors, in between Essen and Bluebonnet on Perkins Road.
Don't just be a sportsman, look like one too. Men, women, kids, everyone wants to look like a good sport. And now you can find it all in one place without leaving the house. Our popular Sportsman logo clothing and accessories are just a click away at LouisianaSportsman.com. T-shirts, caps, polarized sunglasses, jewelry, koozies, and more are available in a variety of sizes and colors. It's easy to show the world that you are a sportsman. Visit shop.louisianasportsman.com today and get that perfect sportsman item for yourself or as a gift for that sportsman in your life.
For camping, fishing, hunting, or anything outdoors, bring along Arctic Ice. Simply freeze these versatile cooler packs and they're ready to keep your food and drinks cold throughout your outing. Arctic Ice can maintain in a cooler 60% longer than the equal weight of regular ice, and with no more mess or soggy food. Arctic Ice is clean and easy. Alaskan Series can maintain a sub 40-degree cooler for days, and the Tundra Series can keep game frozen till it gets home. Preserve an Arctic refuge in your cooler. Choose Arctic Ice.
Typically, the trout spawn usually during the first full moon in April. But the males actually produce a noise that is almost like a croak. I can't really explain it, but They make a noise which actually attracts the females. And
Can you duplicate that noise?
no, I can't.
I'm thinking maybe.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, when he said they
trying.
made the noise, I had to get up here and get in on it. I just wanted
I
to.
mean, I hear them all the time, but I can't reproduce it. I guess a lot of times during the spawn, you catch your bigger females. But typically, you know, the fish are spawning in the summertime, and they're spawning typically on the beaches and in the major passes leading to the Gulf. But right now, we're not actually fishing down there because the water's been dirty and it's been too windy. So all the fish right now are in the lakes.
Well, you know, basically during the spawn, and one reason that it makes fishing so good because those fish typically right before they spawn, they're real aggressive. They're feeding because they know their body's going to burn off a lot of, during the spawn. So they're real aggressive before the spawn. You typically catch your biggest fish of the year, regardless of whatever species, because typically in most species, the female is the biggest. And so you have those big females, they're moving up, they're more susceptible to get caught during that period of time. Trout are like prolific spawners. And what I mean by that, one female's eggs will be fertilized by more than one male. Not like where a bass, a male goes up and builds a nest, he attracts a female, she spawns there with him. And so you just, that's the reason most of the time the male trout are the good eating size, more like the ones we're catching. And then you'll have those big females mixed in, during that period of time. But the trout spawn seems to be, my little bit of knowledge of it, it seems to extend over a several month period. Where typically in freshwater, a month of full-blown spawning will, the sac-a-lait, the bass, they all get through. Then the bluegill come on longer. But it seems like the trout are like in the summer months, every big moon period, during the month and during the summer, the trout are spawning. So
Typically in your summer months, you're gonna be wanting to fish the beach and the surfs at the island and all your major passes leading out to the Gulf. And in our area, you have a lot of oyster reefs down there. And they're typically all over those oyster reefs at the passes, right on the coast. Most of my personal business is all speckled trout. I only get a handful of people during the year that call me specifically wanting to only catch redfish.
now, with all that being said, myself personally, I would rather eat the trout. I'm gonna let Marty catch the trout. I'd rather catch the redfish. I like that pool.
Hey, I like catching either one, but I do prefer to eat trout.
Fresh speckled trout.
Can't get any better.
Can't get any better. That is the man's hungry. You see how he set the hook? He just got thinking about it.
And that's the best eating ones right there. Your 12 to 13 inch trout, fry that up thin and crispy, nothing better.
What do you use? Canola? Cottonseed? What type of oil do you prefer, Marty?
Peanut oil.
Oh, nice. He likes a little bit of that flavor. What about you, Andy?
I like hot oil.
Andy, we talking about cooking fish now.
Oh.
He's still on that Cool Breeze shirt back there. Got him all jacked up.
Right now, most of the places we've been catching them have been in probably 2 to 3 feet of water over the shallow oyster reefs. A couple days we've been at the mouth of some major bayous coming out of the marsh where these fish are moving out from into the lake, and could be 4 to 5 feet of water. You always want to find clean water when you're catching trout. And the water's been beautiful, even with all the wind that we've been having. Right now, we probably have a good foot and a half visibility. That's really important when you trout fishing. First thing you want to look for is clean water, always. A half a foot to 1 foot tide in our area is always good. I find, if you have a 2 foot tide, sometimes a stronger tide can hurt you because it's too strong. There's always a place that you can find fish. If you find protected water, clean water, moving water, you're gonna find fish. You just gotta keep moving until you find them. You know, we've been fishing the past month in 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, when the average person would never even go fish because they would think they wouldn't catch any fish. But we've been catching fish every single day in every single condition. If you work hard enough and look hard enough, you're gonna find fish.
Why Bowie Outfitters? Our customers know why.
When you need something, you come in, you ask for it, and you can get it. Great selection of clothes here, guns, shells, calls, whatever you need. I like coming in and doing that. And more importantly for me, I'm a big bow hunter. I think these guys are better than anybody. That's why I come over to Bowie Outfitters.
That's Bowie Outfitters, Perkins Road between Essen Lane and Bluebonnet. Bowie Outfitters, for everything outdoors.
LouisianaSportsman.com is the South's premier hunting and fishing website. Planning a hunting or fishing trip? Visit LouisianaSportsman.com and get up-to-the-date information on weather, tides, or solar data. Our breaking news and continually updating forum will keep you up to date. Or visit our report section and ask the locals what's been biting and where. Need to sell or buy an outdoor item? LouisianaSportsman.com's free classifieds are the quickest way for you to reach the outdoor market. LouisianaSportsman.com, the quick way to get the most of the outdoors.
Fishing. It's where good stories come from. It's about good times and family and friends. It's about taking a couple home for dinner tonight and saving a few for tomorrow. It's all about that and so much more. To CCA, fishing is about enjoying today and making sure tomorrow is even better. To us, fishing comes with a responsibility for the resources we enjoy so much. If fishing means all that to you, then you belong with CCA.
You know, every month we're just we finish one magazine, we get a little bit of a breath, and then we're right back into another issue. You know, we've got 30 years of history of really giving the outdoorsmen of the state everything they need to know to catch fish, to kill the game that they're chasing. And so, you know, we've got writers who have been with us for most of that 30 years, and they really know every month what's going on. In the magazine, we're going to give you the areas of the state that you can catch the different species and be successful. We're going to tell you how to do that from people who have proven track records. Online, we have not only the fishing reports that you can find out, you know, are the fish biting, and we talk to guides and other anglers who are out on the water on a regular basis to provide those reports. We're going to give you the tips on what to look for to be successful. But the website also provides an invaluable resource in our forum where you can go on. You can post a question. You can ask the guides what's happening in their area. You can ask other anglers what's happening and how can you be successful. And so between the magazine and the website, it's really got everything you need to know. Can I catch this? Can I catch this fish?
You're making magazines, sometimes you're catching red.
That's right. That's right. You know, last week I was putting out the May issue of Louisiana Sportsman, and today I am catching a large redfish. Tell you what, I'd be sweating like mad if I didn't have a cool breeze on.
See there?
Woohoo!
I told you that wasn't a redfish net.
That vibe jig drives them stupid. Maybe not. Here we go, here we go. Swing him in the boat.
No, actually, I have on the new Cool Breeze sportswear from Louisiana Sportsman. And honestly, it is really a cool shirt. And I mean that literally. As soon as I pull that rain jacket off, you know, I mean, we 70-degree temperatures, but I'm cool. No sweating in this shirt.
like all the shirts and everything, and this one especially, it's just, it doesn't even feel like you have anything on almost.
You make a full bodysuit, huh?
Go and rub your nipple just a little bit for the camera. You don't even need piercings with this shirt.
Yeah.
Probably for me, the #1 time to go trout fishing is when they're biting. I don't want to work. I just want to cast. I don't want to figure it out. That's what we got Marty here for today. He's figuring that bite out for us. He's just taking us around and saying, throw right here. You can go red fishing and you can grind around and catch one here and one there, but typically speckled trout, are more of a school type fish, and they'll have a tendency to be together. They're not as solitary as some redfish might be. And so typically on speckled trout, if you don't figure them out, you don't catch anything. When you figure them out, it's good. It's feast or famine, you know what I'm saying? But if they just, they're dictated by the wind. Marty had been catching them on one side of the lake and the wind changed directions. And this morning, we had like a bite or two there, but that was it. We moved to a different side that he hasn't been fishing, and, we lit them up. We pulled up on a place and it was every cast, for an hour. So, but again, they're a little more school oriented. You notice every time we catch one, you get multiple bites. You don't just catch one in place. Now, we pulled up on a place and Andy caught a big redfish right off, but he caught one. It wasn't like a school of redfish. And trout, more times than not have a tendency, when you catch one, there's a reason for it and there's more there with it.
Every time you're on the water, you learn something new. That's a fact. In my opinion, if you got a chance to fish, you're gonna fish, no matter what the conditions are. My philosophy is, you gotta go to know.
You think?
Oh yeah.
You good with it, I'm good with it.
You gotta go to know. You don't know unless you go. Plain and simple. We've fished pre-front, we've fished days during the front, and we've fished days after a front. When typically, most people say, well, the fish aren't gonna bite after the front. We've limited out on those days. So me personally, I don't look at the chart, I don't look at the moon, I go. I'm determined. I'm gonna do everything possible to put fish in the boat. I'm gonna keep going until I find them, until they bite. At some point, those fish are gonna bite. They always do. If I pull up at a spot and I don't get a bite, sometimes within 5 to 10 minutes, I'm moving. Now, there is sometimes, if you know that the fish are in a certain area and you've been catching them every day, and you pull up in that area and they may not be biting at that time, come back later in the day and keep checking that spot. It could be the tide, I may go to a spot sometimes 3 or 4 times in a day, and eventually, when I pull up, start catching them. That's only if I know they're in that area. If it's an area I haven't fished, I may only hit that spot 1 time. But if it's an area I've been catching fish in consistently, I'll keep going back. Just like yesterday. I went back to the same spot like 3 times, and the last time I went back, it was our best bite. You have got to work and work and work and just keep on going at it until you find fish. And I think a lot of people may just get, they might get bored and they might just give up.
Frustrated.
Frustrated, and they give up, Where as a guide with paying customers, we do whatever it is possible to try to find fish to put our customers on. But we don't give up. We're gonna go and go and go and go and go until we find fish. Or, you could go all day and only catch 20 fish. But on one of those days, on one of those hard, tough days when the fish aren't biting, if you put 20 fish in the boat, that's a good day.
And that's plenty for me to eat. Fishing's a challenge, that's what keeps you doing it. It's more about just figuring out what they're doing. That's part of like for me personally, yeah, the catching's great, but the main thing is, like he said, to move around. You're not catching anything, then you move around, you figure them out. That's almost as important as, catching the fish, just figuring out what the fish are doing. It's a challenge, that's the reason people fish. You know, if we were just into the fish and not into the fun of the fishing part of it, we'd just use a net. Why would you go through this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's part of it, it's the fun part of it, it's just, you know, figuring them out.
And some days you just have to go that extra mile. You have to stay out that extra mile.
Hey, and you know what? Honestly, you don't catch them every day. There are days out there when you don't move the right way. You know, that's just part of it. And you know, another thing is we're blessed with a great area to fish in. You know, our whole coastline is really good. Like the rest of the United States, their inshore fishing, nobody's compares to ours. So in a way now, I'm gonna be honest with you, we're kind of spoiled. You know, our fishing's a lot better than it is most places.
That was a good fish right there.
I mean,
Let that, when you feel that bite, just pause your bait. Like that. Just like that. Yeah, figuring out, like he said, figuring out what the fish want and how they're biting.
Not tearing up the GoPro.
Is a big thing too, you know.
I caught me one, it was a good one, a Hero 3.
S11 sunglasses makes it like the water is not even there.
For camping, fishing, hunting, or anything outdoors, bring along Arctic Ice. Simply freeze these versatile cooler packs and they're ready to keep your food and drinks cold throughout your outing. Arctic Ice can maintain in a cooler 60% longer than the equal weight of regular ice, and with no more mess or soggy food. Arctic Ice is clean and easy. Alaskan Series can maintain a sub 40-degree cooler for days, and the Tundra Series can keep game frozen till it gets home. Preserve an Arctic refuge in your cooler. Choose Arctic Ice.
Fishing, it's where good stories come from. It's about good times and family and friends. It's about taking a couple home for dinner tonight and saving a few for tomorrow. It's all about that and so much more. To CCA, fishing is about enjoying today and making sure tomorrow is even better. To us, fishing comes with a responsibility for the resources we enjoy so much. If fishing means all that to you, then you belong with CCA.
Louisiana Sportsman Magazine. For over 31 years, your source for fishing and hunting information. Each month you will find stories by local experts on everything from bass to redfish to ducks, deer to trout and turkey. We've got incredible local information that you can use immediately to get more success outdoors. You'll also enjoy monthly columns on cooking, the latest lures, GPS locations, shooting, kayaks, and much more. Have Louisiana Sportsman delivered to your house and safe. $24.99 gets you a full year of Louisiana Sportsman. To order today, visit louisianasportsman.com.
I had a bite or two on a red-eye shad and had a, bite on that sexy dog topwater bait, but, realistically, this size fish, that the plastic's the deal. And just a 4-inch swimming shiner, small swim bait. And, sometimes you have to hop it and all, but these fish seem to be just a slow, steady reel seems to be the deal. When you get around a little pod of them, they seem to be, pretty aggressive. Can't always throw out there without getting a bite.
We typically use 1/4 ounce jig heads year round. We'll switch to a 3/8 ounce jig head typically in the summertime when there's a strong current. We're usually fishing in about 12 feet of water at the rigs. And with a strong current, you need that heavier jig head to get a little lower in the current line, typically where the fish are. I use Power Pro Slick 8 30-pound test.
Braided line?
Braided line. It's a lot more sensitive. I usually don't fish a leader. I tied my braid directly to my jig head. It's all about determination.
Why don't you just say, call Marty?
Some people,
Just call me. That's what he's saying. Just call him.
some people don't have that drive, you know? Some people don't have that drive. And it may not be worth it to them. They just go out for a little while and, oh well, they're not biting and give up. The main thing is to keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, and stay on clean water.
I want to talk about my hard nipples in this Cool Breeze shirt. Ooh. I may never take it off. Actually, we do a lot of these trips and I don't ever know what to expect. But honestly, when you come to Dulars, Louisiana, you can only expect good things. You know, I knew right off this morning, Marty's getting all of his stuff together, getting around. You know, there's no doubt we were gonna have a good day. He was serious about it. First place we pulled up, you know, I mean, we basically had a bite the first cast and he's not happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to go somewhere else. It's supposed to be better than this. So, you know, I think that's what you get with most of the charter captains in our area. You know what I'm saying? These guys make a living doing this. They're serious about it. It's typical. Great Southern hospitality. He's got a nice fishing platform to fish out of. He's got everything you need. We pulled up, unloaded, got in the boat, we fishing. I'm standing on a box of trout, you know, so, I mean, how easy is that? If you don't have time, you can make time for one of these trips. You know, it's hard for somebody to get all their stuff around and get together and I got a day here to do this or whatever, you know, but, you know, you can just pick up the phone and call Marty and say, look, man, you got a free day? I got one right here for you. Come on down. All you need to do is bring you good looks and your Cool Breeze shirt. Now, I will tell you this. It's gonna be rough out here this summer unless you got on the Cool Breeze. And look back there, there's our new Cool Breeze model. There's a reason he runs the internet. He's the online guy. What is that song? What's that song online? He's a lot better looking online.